I need to assemble a team, but I can't reboot Dedsec alone. Let me break into London CTOS and see who's available.
I'm Claire Waters, and we've been discussing the hacktivist, now alleged terrorist group, Dedsec, on this week's Buccaneer Radio. I have Colin calling in. Colin, what's your take?
Now, I've been saying from the start we should have rounded up Dedsec and thrown them in jail. Now, I'll say they should all be lined up and shot.
You don't find it awfully convenient that they've been fingered as the attackers, but we've seen no proof?
Look at Tone! Look at our city! What more proof do you need?
Well, Colin, I'd say you have to look at their history of non-violent action. Albion's put more civilians in the hospital in the past few months than Dedsec ever has. I smell a scapegoat. Now I have Emily calling in. Emily, what's your take?
You're absolutely right, Claire. The government's just framing Dedsec because they want to make it seem like they have this under control. They probably have no clue who was behind the bombings. But that doesn't look good on the news, does it? Dedsec's been a thorn in their side. Who better to pin it on?
Angie, I have you next. What do you make of all this?
I think, if anything, Dedsec showed their true colors. It's terrifying to think we harbored such a dangerous element for years. Terrorists in our own backyard.
Do you find Dedsec more frightening than the different gangs in London, like Clan Kelly?
Clan Kelly might set your shop on fire and maybe they'd kill you, but even they wouldn't try to blow up all of Parliament.
Next, I have Crypto King. Do you feel safer using a pseudonym?
Everyone should. Want to make it easier for them to track you. And now we've seen what they're capable of and how far they're willing to go.
Hold on. Do you mean the government? Are you suggesting the government was responsible for the bombings?
Oh, trust me, Claire. They didn't do it alone. They're all in on it. The government.
Shit. Situation is worse than I thought. Brilliant. Let's get the people of London on board. Glad to see you're alive. If you're still committed to the cause, Dedsec needs you. I'll send you the coordinates to our last safe house. Meet me there.
Fine.
Created 4,000 jobs that will immediately be taken by robots.
Even if they're not, there'll be jobs that no one in their right sane mind would actually want to do, but that's the price of progress, I guess. And we have to embrace the way technology is taking over everything, because maybe this is a ray of hope for us in this darkened universe, that technology will in fact render us all obsolete, and we won't need humans at all. Because look at the bad things that are happening now. What is the common denominator behind all of them?
I don't know, Andy, tell me.
All the bad things that are happening now, all the bad things that have ever happened, all involved human beings. They're always involved whenever anything goes wrong from the very dawn of time. And think of this, an automated Nigel Cass, surely a step up on the human Nigel Cass. You could even program it to have a tiny, tiny sliver of conscience. And if you had an automated Prime Minister, you could program it to be occasionally in the goddamn country. So that's, again, a step forward.
Again, I insist that there's never been a Prime Minister, Andy. I've never seen him, I've never heard of him. The only times I ever hear what the Prime Minister does is when nothing happens.
I mean, it has reached the point where, and I've thought this for a long time, we would be better off if the Prime Minister was a watermelon. It would be, I think we'd all be happy with that. We'd all know where we stood.
You hear him being praised for his diplomatic skills all the time, but the best mark of diplomacy is when nothing happens. So good diplomacy is indistinguishable from him doing absolutely nothing.
You are listening to The Bar. 4,000 new dream jobs for everyone. All I can say, Alice, is that I'm very glad that my children studied drama at school, because that has set them up for life in modern Britain. That is the one core skill they need, the ability to pretend that they are living happy and fulfilled lives, that they have jobs that are worth doing, and that they're making the planet a better place, and that they control their own destinies, and that they have even a parody of a private life, and that they can smile without crying. That's what drama teaches them to do. Crucial skills in this day and age. Of course, it's not just the jobs that have been technologicalised beyond all recognition. It is also all reality. Thanks once again to Optic. According to Bloom, the Optic system is now the most secure it's ever been. And, well, of course, I mean, it's so convenient, Optic, isn't it? It saves us so much time and hassle trying to exist in the kind of realm of reality. You don't even need to bother with that. I mean, sure, the government has hacked into my soul and now basically monitors my every waking moment with thought. But at least I don't have to type where's my nearest coffee shop into a search engine. At least I don't have to waste anything between 8 and 12 seconds every day going online to look up how to make a bowl of muesli. And at least I'm not frittering away my precious mental energies thinking, what do I actually think?
Optic is so secure, Andy. It's more secure than a teenage girl reading a women's magazine. It's more secure than a comedian with a drinking
Auto-drive now
problem.
disabled.
It's more secure than a young man who's just got his first motorcycle license.
Finally, before we go today,
I've downloaded a patch to your Optic so you can access our security system. It's set up so that I can't just let someone who isn't Dedsec in. You'll have to do the manual override.
I'm impressed. I took Dedsec to be a group of pranksters, but sounds like at least one of you had some sense.
One of Sabine's, are you? I'll see you downstairs later then.
There we are. Christ, it's dark. Better get the power back on.
No
Dedsec registration detected. Identify yourself, or I'll seal the exits, hack your optic, and read you every drunken email you ever wrote until you starve.
Wait! Sabine sent me here.
Sabine's alive? Well, that's one piece of good news. I'm Bagley, Dedsec's definitely not stolen, highly advanced AI assistant, and it seems I've been out of commission for a few months. Anyway, why don't you go connect me to the Dedsec network so I can become more powerful than you could possibly imagine? I mean, catch up on what I missed.
This is London Calling. You're listening to Buccaneer, your pirate podcast source for what they don't want you to know. I'm Tash, and this time we're giving a special shout out from us to the boys and girls
Bombers where?
There's a gap in my memory after Dalton, well, let's be honest, after I disarmed the bomb at Parliament. I'm missing information about what happened after I was taken offline. But from what I can infer, an unknown hacker group identified only as Zero Day was involved. I believe this Zero Day staged the attacks and framed Dedsec for their dirty work. Come to my terminal. Sabine is requesting a video call.
This is London Calling. You're here with me, Tash, on Buccaneer, your source for what they don't want you to know. In today's world, we've all had to get used to our every move being tracked by the optic on our temples, by the cameras around us, and with every click we make online. Seems like everything we do feeds the big data beast. Why are data giants like Bloom so hungry to get hold of our private information and our metadata? What are they using it for? Will we ever have real private lives again? What is privacy in the digital world? And what happens when capitalism and surveillance become one? As you know, we keep all names confidential on Buccaneer. Speaking from a secure location, here's new technology.
Patching in Sabine Brandt now. I suggest you listen very closely to anything she has to say.
There you are. I'm glad you made it. Bagley. God, it's good to hear your demented little voice. Is your memory intact?
Not even slightly. The last record I have is of our HQ being raided. My only lead is a group known as Zero Day. Ring any bells?
No. But the HQ was attacked by some men in black, the same that were at Parliament. Maybe working together. We didn't stand a chance. They just gunned everyone down.
Christ. How did you survive?
I managed to escape through the sewers to Camden. A contact smuggled me out of the city, and I've been hiding out in the north since.
Prudent. Your profile is red flagged as a high-priority target in the city's surveillance system. Even a partial recognition here would have you hunted down and shot on sight.
I'm sympathetic to your cause, but you can't deny that joining Dedsec is a dangerous proposition, especially these days.
Listen, if anyone knows anything about risks, it's me. I lost everything and everyone. But it comes down to this. London is in a death spiral. And if Dedsec can't pull it out, trust me, no one can. The city needs a resistance. And it starts with you. What do you say?
You're right. Let's get to it.
Excellent. New user registered. Welcome to Dedsec. Now, it would be irresponsible of us to release you naked and mewling into the wild. You'll find equipment around the safe house that are essential items in your Dedsec kit. We have a sophisticated system for hiding your identity from facial recognition tech. It's called a mask. And while we're here, perhaps we can talk about updating your wardrobe. I mean, look at you. Come on.
You've got all these fancy new toys, but it's also important to know the basics. You need to learn how to throw a punch and how to take one. Albion will escalate if you come at them with a gun and shoot you down. We want to avoid collateral damage. In Dedsec, we try to use guns only as a last resort.
Have you already met Connie Robinson? She owns the pub and is an old Dedsec contact, not to mention a champion amateur boxer. Go to the practice ring and she'll show you how to stop flinching when someone cocks a punch at you.
I'll be right down. Could use the warm-up.
Let's start with some basic strikes. Hit me. Don't be shy. That's it! You want to get in under my block. Find the weak point. That's it! Yes! Nice one! Quick on your feet now. You want to create distance. You're getting it! That's it!
There's only one more skill you need to master. Socialization. The rest of your team has arrived. Why not go and have a chat?
Welcome to Dedsec.
Yes, I'm so ready to help out the cause.
Hello.
I still can't really believe we are Dedsec. Seems like we should have to pass some training exam or something.
Does it look like we have time for that? We learn by doing.
Now that you're all as thick as cyber thieves, Sabine would like to talk to you.
Well done, team. It's good to see the safe house filling up again. The only way we're going to keep London from falling into total oppression is by rebuilding the resistance. We need to recruit, train, build back our arsenal. The people are itching to rise up and take their city back. We just need to show them that Dedsec are fighting along with them.
That's very noble. But I joined Dedsec to make some concrete changes.
Albion's taken our home and turned it into a war zone, silencing anyone who dares stand up to them.
You know who's taken real advantage? Organized crime. We can't ignore Clan Kelly.
Fair, but remember that this zero-day hacker group is still out there. They took out Dedsec once, and it's a good bet they'll try again. I believe they were responsible for the bombings and framed Dedsec. With your help, I plan to get to the bottom of this mystery.
I'd say that's a full docket. Enough talk. Let's unfuck London.
First order of business. The Signals Intelligence Response Service, or SIRS, or the Earl Grey Gestapo, have developed a surveillance technology called AR Reconstruction. It's the bleeding edge of privacy rights violation, and thus it could be very useful in our attempts to find Zero Day.
We have some damage control to do if we want to change the perception that we're a bunch of violent thugs. I'll let you be the judge of how best to handle yourself, but remember, you represent Dedsec now.
I've located an interesting potential recruit for you. They claim to have recently escaped from, and I'm paraphrasing here, an evil lab. I can't verify that, of course, but their abilities are real enough.
That's quite the CV. We should recruit her.
I had the same thought. Wherever they came from, they'll be a valuable asset to the Resistance. I'll set up a meeting for you. I've marked a potential recruit for you, and by recruit I mean a masked madman who hacked our optic channel and started telling everyone he was in charge.
Well, I mean, I do have seniority.
Who the hell is this?
You see what I'm dealing with here? His credentials check out. Just give him something to do to get him off my arse, would you? All right, I'm flagging a new recruit for you, but you have to promise not to make a mess in your pants when you hear who it is.
Go on.
It seems none other than Aidan Pierce has made his way to London, and apparently he's a friend of Connie's. Is there anyone she doesn't know?
Let's bring him into the fold before he loses a limb.
Drone, stop recording.
About CTOS 3.0, the city. Operating system that's now powering
auto drive now enabled.
For those of you who need reminding, as if anyone does at this point, CTOS was first used in Chicago in 2014 and then San Francisco in 2017 before coming here to London. And every time it's been rolled out, it's been pretty much an unmitigated disaster.
For those of you who are listening who are lucky enough
You
not
have
to be
reached
here
your destination.
in London's chaotic scenes, it's worth remembering that the telecoms tower is now owned by Bloom. The tower looms over northwest London. It's always been a communications hub.
You!
ID check, now.
Okay, alright.
Hey, big shot. Did you have somewhere to go?
Hey, pay attention.
Yes!
Rah, wicked!
Series of sensors to see the world around them. Radar, for instance, would look far off into the distance, while LiDAR would detect objects nearby. And while cars still use some of this technology, Bloom's CTOS has detailed maps and data that it has on London really makes Bloom be able to take control of it. And CTOS can take control of your car if you're parked
Auto-drive now disabled.
It's no surprise that it was made mandatory to have a self-driving car.
The system is so bad though, it's so annoying. Whenever I
Auto-drive
try
now
to use
enabled.
one of the shareable self-driving cars, I always find myself
Auto-drive now
stuck in
disabled.
traffic jams or roadblocks. Not to
Auto-drive
mention
now
the
enabled.
accidents. I've heard so many stories of cars shunting into the back of others. I think they're worse than human drivers sometimes.
The technology was meant to make things
Auto-drive
better,
now
but Bloom has
enabled.
made it so bad that it just makes
Auto-drive
London
now
be more
disabled.
chaotic than it was before. I'm giving up on the cars. I'm only using the bikes, which are not self-driving at the moment, at least. And don't even get me started on the data. Everything that Bloom sees from your movements around the city in the self-driving cars is
Auto-drive now
collected
enabled.
and feeds back into its big information control system.
Oh, not you and Bloom and privacy again. You're a broken record.
Not as broken as our city's cars.
Did you know that you're legally required to have your optic working at all times?
Don't put the wash on. I left my phone in it.
Life's
Auto-drive
full
now
of little
enabled.
accidents. But accident or not, the law
Auto-drive now
requires you to carry a
disabled.
working optic at all times. So it's a good job our engineers have seen most accidents you can think of.
I'll have that Auto-drive working now for you again in
no time. Whatever the accident, whatever the problem, Con can keep your optic working, keep you legal. Con Mobile.
Enabled. You're listening to the bar.
Cause nausea, vomiting and headache.